Yes, F1 is back. F1 is back. The F1 season is upon us, and it's only a few hours away from starting. The F1 2026 season is about to begin. So enough of the talking, enough of the guessing, enough of the testing. We are about to start the F1 season. And I'm excited. This is what the channel was built on. This is where it all started. F1. So I'm going to bring in my co-Qs, my partner in crime. He's co-owner of Keep It Sports. I'm going to bring in my co-Qs, my partner, Toto Abba. There you go. Big up to Toto Hammer. So the F1 season is back. I'm ready to go. How's it going, bro?
Yeah, it's going well, man. Is there any delay in my camera, or is it all good?
A little delay. Why?
I'm just saying because on my end is a bit delayed.
Have you tried it on 720p?
But look, I'm doing well, man. I'm doing.
Yeah, there's a bit of a delay still. You should try it on 720p. 720p.
Wow.
Drop it and drop out again. It's all right. But anyway, F1 Flaming Tarmac. A bit of a delay. F1 Flaming Tarmac, episode 92. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I'm gonna kick him out so we could come back in again. One second.
Back.
No, I've got to kick you out. So yeah, F1 Flaming Tarmac, episode 92. So we're going to be talking about the winners, who we think is going to win, who's going to be the rising stars. We're going to talk about it all on the stream. So, but before we start getting going, I want you to like the video, like and subscribe, and it'd be much appreciated on the stream today if you like and subscribe. Toto just messaged me. He's having a few difficulties, but he should be coming back in a minute. So, Lewis Hamilton. Let's just start with Lewis Hamilton, shall we? He's on the front. He's on the front of the cover. Lewis Hamilton, probably the most influential driver in Formula One history, past and present. He's the guy that everybody wants to see win, and he's the guy what everybody wants to see lose. Love him or hate him, he's still the GOAT of Formula One. He's won more. He's won 8 world titles. He's about to win his 9th title, maybe. And he's won more races than anybody. All the records he's broken. All the records. So he's sitting on the top at the moment. You might not like him, but the facts are there. And people are going to say he's only won 7 world titles. No, he's won 81 in Abu Dhabi. Remember the human error? There you go. But I think this season is going to be the season where Lewis Hamilton potentially might have a chance to win a world title. I watched the interview with him not long ago, and he was smiling, saying how positive he is. He said last season he was in a bad place. Lewis said he was in a bad place last season. And he said over the holiday season, he got centered, got his head straight. And since Christmas, he's been training, being positive, using all that energy. But it does help when you got a good car. Because let's face it, last car, what Lewis Hamilton had was completely and utter garbage. So people want to say that Lewis Hamilton is losing it. No, he never, because Charles was struggling as well. Charles Leclerc. Congratulations to Charles Leclerc, by the way. Just got married. Big up. Big up to Charles Leclerc. He's now a married man. Married man, big up. So let's go back to Lewis Hamilton. I think Lewis Hamilton this season is looking good at the moment, but we all know when it comes to testing, it's not really something we can go on with the winter testing. Sometimes the car might look good in testing, but when it comes to the actual race, it might fall to pieces. But he said his DNA is all over the car. And yeah, hopefully everything works out for him. I hope that he has a good season. Yeah, I hope really has a good season. He's ready to come back and he can get his 9th world title. You know, his 9th world title. And he's his 9th world title. I don't care what anyone says because in 2021, no one's ever going to change my mind. And for me, he's a world champion. He won that title and I stole it off him. They said it was a human error. They knew exactly what they was doing, in my opinion. And he'll always be a 8-time world champion. And can he get his 9th world title? Imagine that, going to Ferrari. Let's face it, you're a Formula One fan growing up. Everybody wants to drive for the Reds. Everybody wants to drive for the red team. If you're a true Formula One or racing fan, and it doesn't even have to be in Formula One, it could be in other disciplines. Let's face it, Ferrari's historic. It's the oldest team in Formula One. It's been there the longest. I know at the beginning you had Mercedes, but Mercedes left after Le Mans. When Le Mans had that big accident at Le Mans when all them people died, and it was a tragic accident, Mercedes left motorsport for ages. They left for, I think it was like 30 odd years. Maybe and they came back as a manufacturer, not as a proper team. And because the engines were good and McLaren won the world title with the Mercedes engine, they started to come back with a car. Ross Brawn started the team, kind of. Fingy came along. Toto came along and then took the reins off Ross Brawn. And then it became Mercedes. They had the old Brawn factory. And then it became a phenomenon. Soon as they had the hybrid era came in, Mercedes dominated. So really, if you look at Lewis Hamilton's career, he's basically drove for Mercedes all of his career. He came into Formula One with the McLaren. It was a Mercedes engine. He went to Mercedes engine. So when he came into that Ferrari team, he had to learn a new language. He had to learn a new culture. It was all right for Charles. Charles basically got born into that team. Charles was in that team for a decade. He knows the language. He knows the culture. He knows the engineers. He knows how the car works. So really, Lewis Hamilton going into that team was a disadvantage. We know how Lewis Hamilton is the GOAT, but it was a disadvantage going into that team. And remember, the car that he had was Sainz's car. It wasn't really his car. It was the end of the regulations. He couldn't really he couldn't put his authority onto the car. He couldn't stamp his style onto the car. They couldn't really change it because there was an upgrade in it because the car was old. It was at the end of the regulations, so he had to do what he could do. And he was stuck with a race engineer, which I don't think he liked. The amount of times I saw him cuss him on the radio. You get me? I don't think he likes his race engineer. And if you don't like your racing engineer, if you're a driver, if you don't get on with the racing engineer, that's not a good sign. You get me? So he had to go in there. He had to gain their trust. They had to gain his trust. And now he's got a new engineer, a new car. He's got his DNA stamped all over the car. All over the car. His DNA is on that car now. He's been training. He's in the best shape of his life. That's what he said on the press conference. He looks like a happy Lewis, not complete opposite of last season, the way it was. A complete opposite. So it's good. It's good. It's happy days for Lewis Hamilton. Happy days for Lewis Hamilton. So yeah. So that's Lewis Hamilton out the way. I'll tell you who my favourites are. At the end of the video, I'll give you my favourites and Toto Hammer will give you his favourites as well. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to end the stream. Forget it. There we go. I was having technical difficulties here. Toto, are you there? Are you all right now?
Yeah, I'm all right now. That's about a whole update.
Just about, you know what I'm about to do? I was going to stop the stream and reset it, but you just came in at the right time.
Yeah.
I just done my monologue about Lewis Hamilton, about Lewis Hamilton. He seems like he's in a good place now. Came into last season. It was a new team. It was at the end of the regulations. They couldn't really upgrade the car because the car was like done. They was getting ready for next year's car, which is this year. and there's nothing really he could have done. He was stuck with a race engineer that he disliked. Let's face it, he didn't like him. Let's face it. He just wasn't comfortable. I'm not saying it was a personal thing, but he just wasn't happy with that race engineer. It's like the communication between the two was not together. You know, they wasn't really together. But what's your thoughts on Lewis Hamilton regarding this season? I don't want to tell you if he's going to win. We'll do that at the end.
Yeah.
But what's your thoughts on Lewis Hamilton, the positive energy, what's coming out the paddock?
I thought Lewis had a very, very good pre-season testing. I think he's much more happy with the car. He's more got a smile on his face now. And a happy Lewis is always a good Lewis at the end of the day.
Correct.
Last season, he was saying that he's useless in interviews. He was very, very angry with himself. You can see it in his eyes that Lewis weren't really happy with the car, happy with the team, happy with the environment that he's in. Of course, his race engineer had problems with. He just wasn't. It's a big transition from being with Bono for many, many, many years, then to going with a new Ferrari. I don't know what his name is. Going to a new race engineer, with a new environment, new engineers, and all that. It takes time to adapt, and of course, when you go into a new car, new setup, and everything, it takes time to adapt as a driver. You need to be at the right mental. Of course, all sport it's 90% mental, and if you're not there mentally, Lewis weren't there mentally last season, as you can all see. But now this season, he's more happier. You can see him around the paddock when we see it online and all that. That he's much happier. He's a much happier person now. He looks more confident, and Ferrari had a really, really great, strong showing at testing.
Yeah,
and I think because that's another reason why Lewis Hamilton's probably very, very confident in himself. He looks confident in himself, and yeah, hopefully he does well because he hasn't really been in a good car for quite some time. Because that Ferrari car last season was absolutely dreadful. It was up and down. It wasn't really consistent. Last season. Now, hopefully, this season Ferrari, as you can see from testing, is a bit more consistent this season, and we can finally start to see some strong showing from Ferrari. It's been quite some time Ferrari's been on top and challenging for constructors and challenging for titles and being that dominant team. It's been quite a while for Ferrari. Of course, we all want Ferrari to do well in Formula 1. Ferrari is a legendary manufacturer, and this could be the season for Ferrari, for Hamilton and Leclerc. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. In my opinion, but Lewis is going to be very, 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 very good.
I totally agree. Now I'm going to ask you this question. I don't think I've asked you this question before. It's not really controversial. It's just, he's starting to stiff up again. Do you think that would you rather Lewis Hamilton stay at Mercedes and win another title, or are you happy? Are you happy with Lewis Hamilton going to Ferrari? Do you think he should have done it at Mercedes if he can win his 9th world title, or would you like to? Are you glad that he's gone to Ferrari to do it because Schumacher did it? And that big question, everyone's saying, Schumacher went to Ferrari and done it. Lewis never, he just stayed at Mercedes. What do you think? What was your first impression? Your first impression. What was your first impression when you heard that Lewis was going to Ferrari?
I thought that was a good thing. I said on the channel before that there must be a reason why he's gone there. It must be a good project for Ferrari. And Ferrari is actually rumored to be a very, very good car in the future. But again, that was shut down due to the dreadful last season. But this season it seems well. But when I first saw Lewis to go Ferrari, I was quite happy. I'm a Mercedes fan. I'm a Lewis fan, but I'm a Mercedes fan as well. I've always been a Mercedes fan. But I'm glad that Lewis, doing it at different teams, which is also good. But to be fair, he's been with Mercedes all his life. Because when he was at McLaren, it's still called McLaren Mercedes. Still under that Mercedes brand. But he's been with Mercedes almost all his life. So, and he's won everything at Mercedes. He's won 5 championship titles there. He won the constructors there. A lot of time winning the constructors. He's got really nothing else to prove at Mercedes, to be honest. So it's good to go to Ferrari, new team, new environment, and see what you can do there at a different team. But again, this season, Ferrari is now looking like the car to be up there with Mercedes. So that's good for Lewis as well, because Lewis is very, very unhappy. But now he's looking like a good car, good testing, good preseason. And now it's looking very, very likely that Ferrari might be challenging for them top spots.
Yeah, it's looking good, man. It's looking good. Yeah, it's looking good, man. We'll see what happens with Ferrari. Yeah, it's so far so good. You get me? I don't want to really jump ahead of it. You know, I don't want to put the bad luck on Lewis. You get me? And say, because we've been saying this for a while. Oh, Lewis has got a good car this year. He's gonna do it, and I don't want to put the bad thing on it. But look, at the end of the day, it's looking good. It's new regulations, and yeah, that's just the way it is. And it's new regulations. So they were saying as well, these regulations that are coming up, that are here now, not like the first 6 or 7 races might be a different winner. What's your thoughts on that?
It could be a different winner, because now you got actual 3 cars in it. McLaren's looking good. Ferrari's looking good now. And Mercedes are looking good, especially Mercedes having absolutely brilliant testing. Them 3 are looking good. Not so much Red Bull now, because Red Bull's going with this new in-house engine. They got the new Red Bull engine now. And it takes time to adapt, and Red Bull might not be up there this season. They might get podiums and that, but they might not be up there this season for like championship contenders. They might not be up there, but it's going to be between Mercedes, McLaren, and Ferrari. And you're not really going to see, in my opinion, due to all the testing, how close it is between, especially Mercedes and Ferrari. It's not just going to be one team just dominating. It's not going to be one team just dominating. It's not going to be one driver out there in first, leading by many seconds. It's not going to be like that anymore. It's going to be a couple teams in it, and I think it's going to be more closer. Of course, we've said this before, didn't we? It's going to be more closer. But I really think, due to testing and all that, Ferrari and Mercedes, especially them 2 teams battling out of each other, McLaren just behind as well, I really think it's going to be a close title. It's not going to be a runaway where it's going to end early. I think it's really going to go down to the wire, regarding all the performances from.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting. It's going to be very interesting the way the first 6 races plan out. You know, the way it plans out. People are saying that George Russell the favourites. We're going to get into that later. And again, people are saying that George Russell the favourites. Some people are saying that maybe this guy's a favourite. But look, there's 2 things we do know. We know that Aston Martin has got a crap car, and it's a shame because Lance Stroll, his dad, has put a lot of money into this team. He's got a lot of partners backing him as well. Built a new factory technical department for Aston Martin. I would like to see Alonso win more races. He hasn't won a races for so long because he's one of my favorite drivers. 45 years of age and still kicking it in Formula One. That's crazy. Yeah. I would like to see Alonso win at least 1 or 2 races this season. I think he made that commitment and went to Aston Martin thinking that he was going to get something. But now, at the end of the day, the car looks like it's in trouble. The car really looks like it's in trouble. They're saying that the engine is vibrating. They don't know where the vibration is coming from, what part of the car. And basically, when the drivers drive the car in testing and stuff like that, that is vibrating. It could give them permanent vibrations on the hands. So it's not really looking good for Aston Martin. If they don't sort that out, Toto.
Nerve damage.
Nerve damage in the hands. And if they don't sort that out, Toto, if they don't really sort that out, what's going to happen is they might not even be able to race on the first day.
The thing is, they might have to scrap the whole engine and, build it all again, because if you can't really find a problem to the engine and all that, and there's like a little gremlin that you can't really seem to solve, it's just scrap. You have to build a new one, because that's what they're complaining about, is the engine. and they've got to find a problem to that. If they can't find a problem, it's just scrap, and they have to build the whole engine again. And it's just dangerous. I think it's dangerous in terms of health as well, because we all know health and safety is the number one thing in everything. And now it seems like Alonso's complaining about it, the vibrations. Lance Stroll's complaining about it. Adrian Newey is complaining about it as well. He's the one who mentioned the nerve damage. And it's like, it's very, very unsafe to drive. So you might not even see Aston Martin. Yeah, like you said, you might not even see Aston Martin compete in this race. You might not see him compete in this race because it's unsafe to drive. You might even get bare minimum of 5 or 10 laps, and then they'll have to go in the pit and retire the car. Like, there's no point, is there? It's either it's either you find the problem and try fix the problem, or you have to scrap the engine and rebuild it.
Yeah,
because that's going to end up happening.
And it's a shame. Like I said, it's a shame for me. I feel sorry for Alonso. When's this guy going to win another race? You know, I think he's gave up probably within the championship. He just wants to win races. He's at that point of his career now. He's 35 years of age. I don't think he's thinking he's going to win a world title. He's not silly. He's an intelligent guy. He's not silly. But he wants to be in the mix, and he wants to be in the mix winning races. Maybe get a pole, maybe, but at least win a race, get more podiums, isn't it? I think that's his ultimate goal, is to win a championship. No, to win races, you know. So yeah, Aston Martin. But let's move on to the next one. I think let's move on to the new team. I would say Cadillac. Now Cadillac's been very interesting with Cadillac. There haven't really been any problems with it. They came out early. They've had less testing than everybody else, less development. They might be slow in the development, but their car has been running. They've had no breakdowns. They've had just a half decent. They've got the laps in, and that's most key for a team. The most key for a team, as Anthony said as well, Anthony and Scott, the key for a new team coming into Formula One, that you get the laps in, that you don't break down. So Cadillac looking good. They got Bottas coming back into Formula One, which I'm kind of happy about. I do like Bottas. I think he's a great addition to Formula One. And Checo. So what do you think?
I think they went for the more experienced route, and I don't blame them, because rookies tend to, I wouldn't say all of the rookies, but usually when the rookie comes to the Formula One, they usually crash a lot, and they're more chance of crashing because they just come into the sport or Formula One and stuff, and take time to adapt. But Bottas and Perez have been there for years, the seasoned vets. So, and now also when you have an experienced driver there, it helps you set up the car. It helps you set up the car better.
Feedback in it.
Yeah, and they've gone more reliable route, and you don't really see him breaking down. You don't really see him. You see him get as much laps. What you want. You want the data. You want the road data. You want everything in that car. Any problem that's making it slower, you need to put out track time. Nothing beats track time at the end of the day. And they've got all the screen. They've got the data. It's all advanced technology and all that. They need the laps to assess and what they need to do and what they want to do, so to work on the car basically. The Cadillac, they've gone in there, they came out early, and they got really lots and lots of laps with two experienced drivers with Cadillac as well. So not really any problems. You won't really see Cadillac, of course, changing for points and all that. They're a new team, new engine, everything. They're a new team. Cadillac is. But again, if they got good engineers, they got the data behind them, they got the reliability. They can do a lot with the car.
Yep, I totally agree. They're a new team. They're just learning the ropes. I'm not sure where the engineers come from. What team of the just new engineers coming into Formula One. And yeah, good for them. They haven't broken down. Touch wood. They're a new team. Because over the years of new teams coming to Formula One, one thing that always happens with new teams, they always break down because they're new to it. And this is a brand new team, an American team. established motorsport, well, it's established car brand in Cadillac, very famous American brand. And now they're coming to Formula One. They're dipping their toes into Formula One. They've got a good race engineer. They've got a good team behind them, and they're reliable, and that's good. And it's going to completely opposite to Williams. And that brings us on to Williams. Williams, for some reason, their car is too heavy. They're trying to file off certain parts. They need to bring the weight down, but they're not going to do that overnight. Carlos Sainz was complaining, saying this is not what he expected coming into Formula One driving for Williams. And he did not expect this, what was going on. He thought last season they made progression. They made little tiny steps, but in the right direction. But now he's saying they might be going backwards because the car is too heavy. So it's not an easy fix when you've got a heavy car in the Formula One. You would know this, Toto, being an engineer, mechanic, and racer. You would know this. When you're in a car and you're in a sports car and you want to try and make it lighter, you've got to gradually bring the weight down. You can't do that in a week. You can't do that in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
you've got to do it bit by bit, or you could ruin the car. What's your thoughts on this with the car overweight?
Well, we all know with Formula One cars are supposed to be light in it, and the company's regulations that the cars are supposed to be more lighter. The engines are more lighter. Everything's more lighter about the car in it.
Yeah.
But of course, being overweight, and of course, the car being overweight, it slows you down. That's just a fundamental part of it. It just slows you down, and it costs you tenths and tenths per lap, and that's not good. It's not good. Was expecting a bit of progression from Williams. Of course, I've got James Vowles there, very intelligent guy.
Yeah.
They've got good engineers there, smart people, and they're supposed to have a big improvement from the regulations. Now they've got of course the weight, there's all aspects of the car, maybe the material of the car, the engine and stuff. Maybe it's too heavy. Maybe we need to try a different material to make the engine lighter. There's all chassis. Of course, chassis are a big part of determining if the car's light or heavy or not. Maybe it's a chassis problem because you want your chassis to be light as possible in it. You want your chassis.
I think the weight. No, sorry for interrupting, Toto. I think the weight is within the regulations, but it's the heavy car. You know what I'm saying? So it's in. They can drive it and whatever, but it's heavy. It's on the borderline of heavy. You get me? So if you look at the other cars,
you're slowing down a lot.
Yeah. So what they need to do, it's not an easy fix. What they need to do is they need to find out where they can. You remember that film with is it Rush? You remember Rush? Yeah. When you had James Hunt versus Niki Lauda, and then what happened with James Hunt's car is they said that the car was underweight. So what they did, they tried to change it, and what happened, it ended up being a worse car.
Yeah.
Because if you suddenly just change the car, you start changing parts in it and start filing parts down on the car, what will happen is you could damage the car and make it worse. This is why I was saying it's not an easy fix to make the car lighter, and that's the predicament that Williams are in at the moment. They're in this predicament where they're stuck. So I hope Williams does better. I would like to see his daughter come back and have a part of the team. Claire Williams.
Oh yeah.
I would like to see her come back because I know James Bell, he can still run the team, but I would like to see her come back because that's like Williams, isn't it? Williams is it's Frank Williams, isn't it? And if you have his daughter there, it brings that kind of nostalgic kind of energy back to the team. I think it would be a great addition. I saw her on the Drive to Survive. She was doing the narrators. She was a narrator for the Drive to Survive, and I would like to see her come back into Formula One in some sort of role, maybe an ambassador. You get me, where she can still be there, and one of them or a non-executive, a bit like what Niki Lauda had. Remember, Mercedes, something like that. Yeah, something that she can come back, and that I think that would help him out as well. Just an historic kind of thing, innit? Like the Williams, it's Frank Williams, man. It don't matter who they bring in there. It's Frank Williams, and it's his team. So, as we're gonna come to the end of the video, how long have we been going for now? 31 minutes. We've got 7 people watching. Can you please like the video? This is streaming on Spotify. This is also on iTunes. It's also on Stitcher, and it's also on Twitch, and it's also on Total Hammers Racing channel, and it's also on the main channel, Flaming Tarmac as well. So we are streaming everywhere, and also we are also streaming on TikTok as well. So every platform, more or less, we are there. So I'll put a poll up. I'm not sure if anyone's participated in it. A few, anyway. So I'll put a poll up. I'm gonna ask you now, right? These are the drivers I'll put out there. You might have a different person anyway, who you think is gonna win. Who will win the F1 title? I know it's a bold prediction. It doesn't mean nothing. It's just a lucky guess at the beginning. Who is going to win the world title? This is what I've put in the poll. I've put George Russell.
Bombocard.
I've put in Lewis Hamilton.
Bombocard.
I put in Max Verstappen.
Bombocard.
And I put Lando Norris.
Bombocard.
So I'm asking you, and if it's none of them, you don't have to name them. You get me? So I want everyone to get involved. And when I mean everyone, I mean everyone. So Total Hammer, who is going to win the world title in your opinion?
I want to go with Lewis. That's me.
Why? You knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Give me a hell yeah.
I thought Ferrari had a strong showing at pre-season tests, and of course Mercedes as well. But I think Lewis is more. He looks more happier. Looks more confident. I've been seeing him in interviews. He's more happy. He looks less like mentally tired from last season. He looks better. He's been training hard. He said he'd been training hard early on Christmas Day. Since Christmas Day.
Nah, let's face it, he had his Christmas dinner first, though.
Yeah, of course he did. But yeah, said he was training. he was training since Christmas Day. I think Lewis is more up for it. I think he's got a lot of years under him still. If they give him the right car, I think he can go much longer. Look at Alonso; he's 46 years of age. He's
45.
45. So
he'd be 46 this year, though.
Yeah. I think Lewis is going to win it. I thought Ferrari had a strong car. Lewis looks more confident with the car. Which if you did look around preseason testing, you can see the Ferrari drivers were very, very happy with the car, both of them. So
yeah,
a happy Lewis is always a good Lewis. So that's why I'm going for Lewis.
It's all about winning.
Ask any racer, any real racer. It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
There you go. So, you know what? I'm going to ask you another question as well before we leave. Will we get the all British podium that we've been craving for? This year of Formula One, this era of Formula One is our best chance of getting a top 3 British. You've got Lando Norris. For me, I think he's going to be there alongside Lewis Hamilton and Russell. Right? I know they're all British, but that's just the way it is. Let's face it, British run Formula One. You're damn straight. So we've got George Russell.
First race in Britain.
Come on, let's just face it. Yeah, we gonna get that podium that we've been waiting for, the all British podium. You're gonna go on.
It has happened before. Since 1968 US Grand Prix.
There you go.
It was Jackie Stewart, Graham Hill, and John Surtees.
There you go. So there's a historian, Total Hammer. Anyway, so Total Hammer just put me in my place. I didn't know that. Big up to Total Hammer. So this is our chance now that we're going to get. This is our best chance that we've had since 1960 odd, that we're going to get an all British podium. Look at the drivers, the British drivers. George Russell, he's the favourite to win the world title. We've got Lando Norris, one of the favourites to win the world title. I think he's going to be right alongside George Russell. We've got Lewis Hamilton. Not Hamilton, Lewis Hamilton. 3 British drivers. And don't tell me we've got this long 22 race season that we're not going to get an all-British podium. It's going to happen, Toto. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It has to happen. And it has to happen at Silverstone. I don't care, man. It has to happen. Anyway, I think my favourite to win the world title He's Sir Lewis Hamilton, yeah. But I think Lando and George is going to be right alongside him. He ain't going to run away with it. George Russell is going to be, I'm telling you that, he's got a chip on his shoulder. He saw Lando lift that world title last season, and they come in Formula One together. They was in karting together. And you don't think he's thinking, right, this is his time now. This is his time. I wouldn't be surprised if George Russell, soon as that season finished last season, it went straight into the factory and started dedicating himself from then. Because he saw his brethren, Lando Norris, lift that world title before him. And he's got a chip on his shoulder. And when you got a chip on your shoulder, you got a lot to prove. You get me? He's going to prove something. So I think Lewis Hamilton's going to win the world title. But I think that George Russell and Lando Norris is going to be right there with him. They're not going to make it easy for him, you get me? I don't care if people say, about Charles. Charles is a brilliant qualifier, but for me, when it comes to wheel, I don't think that's his strength. And obviously, Max Verstappen is going to be there about, But my favourite is Lewis Hamilton, but I think Lando and Russell's right there with him.
Yeah, it's going to be a close championship.
It's going to be a good season. So
there's no guaranteed winner.
No. So we're leaving. This is the end of the stream. Toto, you got anything to say? You got anything coming up?
Nothing else coming up now.
And you got your stream today?
Yeah, streaming today, but that's it really.
That's a lot, Oh, by the way, streaming today, Toto. So let's see you later, guys. Big up to everyone. Big up to the man them. Let's get the new trailer up. I really should have done that at the beginning. Big up to the man them. Big up to the woman then. See you later, guys. Stay to the last trailer at least. There you go. Still here. Big up.